All right, we're here to review Morbius, the trailer. All right, so the film will follow Michael Morbius, played by Jared Leto, who's a biochemist attempting to treat uh, his rare blood disorder, who inadvertently turned himself into a vampire instead. Um, this Spider-Man villain is set to run into Michael Keaton, who we all know played the Vulture, and he seems to be reprising his role in this movie. So some of the names that are coming out is we mentioned Jared Leto, Tyrese Gibson, Adria Jarna, Michael Keaton, Jared Harris, Matt Smith, and Al Madrigal. Funny Al Madrigal from The Daily Show. So Morbius, to me, not one of the top five Spider-Man villains. You have Doc Ock, you have all the guys that that you've seen in the previous Spider-Man movies. This is a Sony pick, so essentially, Morbius is going to be part of that new group of bad guys we're going to see, like Craven the Hunter. Some of the guys that we've seen in the comics that are going to come to life now.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna bring this into the rest of the Marvel universe since it's made by Sony.
Yeah, I think so. I think everything is now one and the same, right? Because like Spider-Man is like co-owned, they're like co-parents of Spider-Man now. So
Is that like permanent, or how long is that planned for?
So honestly, here's what I think. I think that Spider-Man's going to go off and do Avenger stuff with them, and there'll be that big overarching villain like Khan, the Conqueror, But then he's going to go back to his like little neighborhood, and then fight these other guys, and they won't touch the MCU. So Craven, Morbius, all those guys will live outside of the MCU.
So you don't think that Morbius is going to be brought into the rest of it?
I don't think so. It's funny. I mean, the guy's a vampire. You think it'd be interesting, a totally different take. The MCU hasn't really seen something like that.
So what about Venom? Do you think they're going to bring that into Spider-Man? Because that's not... Is that by Sony?
Yes, that's definitely by Sony. Not owned by Marvel. They are 100% going to bring him in.
Actually, I think it's Venom that's coming out in October.
Yes.
Okay. Venom 2.
Yeah. So we'll review that one as well. Have you seen the trailer to that one?
I can't remember.
Okay.
May have.
Okay. So it could be a reaction to something we've already seen. But in any event, we've got Morbius. We've got the video lined up. So here we go. There we are.
Michael, I've known you since you were a child. You have a gift. You always have. If there's an answer to the disease, you'll find it.
I wasn't sure.
I should have died years ago. Why am I still here if not to fix this? I have a rare blood disease, and I'm running out of time. This could be my last chance.
You're up to something. What is it?
That's not exactly legal.
I don't want to see you get hurt more than you already have.
This would be a cure.
How the coronavirus started.
At what cost? What's happening?
I went from dying to feeling more alive than ever.
Increased strength and speed. The ability to use echolocation. And an overpowering urge to consume blood.
How far are we allowed to go?
To fix something that's broken.
Until the remedy
Is worse than the disease.
Michael Morbius. Got tired of doing the whole good guy thing, huh?
What's up, Doc?
Interesting.
Crazy. So we'll just.
If my man was wearing this, I would be all over him.
Well,
That smells.
all right. So first take on that.
I like all like the Marvel movies, so this still seems interesting. But
Well, this is Sony.
yeah,
This is Sony
well,
production,
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. But I mean, it's still kind of in like the whole MCU in the sense that it's by Spider-Man. But what do you? I mean, do you know the lore for vampires in like with Spider-Man?
Yeah, with Spider-Man or even the one with Wesley Snipes where he plays Blade.
Yeah.
I'll be 100% transparent. I don't know the full backstories behind that.
Well, not just that, but like, can they die by silver bullets?
Oh, yeah.
Do they not want to see the sun? Is it the same idea in that whole sense? So is it just like any-
it doesn't seem like that because it seems like as he's gaining his powers and so forth,
right?
it seems like I don't know if there's a distinction or if he just turns into a vampire and stays like that.
Yeah.
Or if he comes back, he radically changed his body, radically.
Right. Yeah, they showed that.
And then I don't know, it looked a little cool. It looked more like a werewolf than a vampire.
It did a little
Right?
bit, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is to me, it's a blockbuster, but it seemed much more somber. It's almost like in the same thing. We mentioned Blade. Blade wasn't all this. It didn't have a lot of like loud scores and everything in the movie. It's just like a really serious tone.
I mean, I could be wrong, but it didn't look like some serious villain. It looked more like an anti-hero
Right.
at the start of it, but I don't know if that's how they're going to continue to play it.
Yeah, the guy's just trying to cure himself,
Right.
and then he
Exactly.
trips over. Yeah, he trips over his own cure, and turns into a vampire.
I mean, I'm from a science background, but I wonder if like why they're not going to just say bone marrow transplant or something like so basic. Like, why do you have to go through all this experimentation?
They've exhausted everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so let me ask you this: Do you suspend your belief during the movie and just say, okay, I know this is technically sound, they wouldn't do this? Does that ruin the movie for you?
To a degree, like I mean, you can like exclude stuff, but if it's so far off, like it's just like it doesn't make any sense. So like if they showed a bit like how like all the experimentation that he went through and a little bit of backstory and
Right.
They explained a bit of that, it'd be interesting. But if they just said, oh, he has some rare disease and doctors don't know what it is and they can't try anything, it's like,
Right.
I mean,
He goes on his own and he just tries it.
Yeah.
What here's what I think. I think that they made a big point of saying from the same studio, they gave you Spider-Man. They listed both, and same when they gave you Venom. Venom was much, much, much better than anyone ever predicted. And now everybody's rushing, to see the second one. Spider-Man, there are a lot of haters out there. I enjoyed them both. Yeah. And so I think this will be really, really well done. I'm definitely going to see it.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man was a lot better than past Spider-Man that I've seen. So
And this one sets it up. And I don't know about you, I love Michael Keaton.
I don't really know that much from his movie. So
He was one for Beetlejuice.
sorry. my youth is still with me. But
Yep.
no, I think it looks interesting.
Cool. All right. So there it is. Go check it out. See ya.